everyone, Ben Strumpf here from Prodport. In this video, we'll analyze the product page from the brand Good American. We'll take a look at three things: what they're doing well, the tech stack to get them there, and what they could do better, all with an emphasis on e-commerce conversion rate optimization. We'll focus on one product in particular because in general for a brand, and even across brands, the product page has the same layout and look and feel. It's just the actual product content that changes on a per product basis. Before we jump in, let me give a quick background on Good American. They launched in October 2016 by Emma Grady and Khloé Kardashian, and they're proclaimed as the first fully inclusive female fashion brand that celebrates all dimensions of female power. They've had a lot of success, doing around 200 million per year from my research, and they're really just an amazing e-commerce experience that built on Shopify. And one thing I really love about this brand, if you read about them, they say they're more than just a brand, they're a movement. So let's go ahead and jump in. First thing, we're going to look at the Good American product page and point out what they're doing well from an e-commerce conversion rate optimization perspective. First, we'll take a look above the fold and the buy box specifically, but we'll make our way all the way down the page below the fold and take a look at every aspect of the product page, again, focusing on what they're doing well. Starting with assets, it's nice that they have asset galleries that are specific to the color, meaning when you change the color, you're seeing imagery of that product just for that color. It's nice that they took it a step further. The default behavior for Shopify is one gallery for all variants, and you can jump to a specific image, but the asset gallery is a mix of different images across different SKUs. So nice to see that they have these dedicated asset galleries per variant. And then looking at the specific assets, they have a nice variety in terms of different product angles, and most importantly, using different models. This is really nice, but they take it a step further here with this model size. So I can filter and just see models in size 16 or 0. On some product pages I saw they also have size 8. So just really nice from a personalization perspective. And this goes even a step further. So I'll show you how I got to this page, which is a pretty common customer journey where I went to a collection page, and you could see it here, but it also has the model size selector here. But let's say I choose size 16 on the collection page and I go to the product page, it retains that size 16. So they're leveraging that customer experience and journey and zero-party data to personalize even when you get down to the product page, which is extremely nice from a customer experience and CRO perspective. Moving on from the asset gallery, which is really top-notch, I love the very helpful product name. They're not using internal nomenclature. They're telling you, this is stretch fabric, pull-on jeans. So just extremely helpful in terms of understanding the product just by the product name. Having a size guide is a plus, especially in the fashion industry. And I really like how they're getting over customer objections by having this shipping and returns. So overall, just a really nice above the fold buy box experience. And it doesn't stop there. If you scroll down the page, so one other thing, just in general, they have this rich content, this below the fold A+ content, but it changes completely. It's not just the asset gallery, but if you choose another color, for example, it's also going to change below the fold as well, which is a really nice experience. What I really like, though, about this rich content, aside from just having it, is how it's being used. So here it's being used to increase average order value with a cross-sell. And not just that, it's these jeans that we're looking at. It goes well with this top, and I could just select the size and add it directly to cart from here. The other thing, they have rich content around the fit of the jeans, which I think is great because it's really representing the voice of customer. When I read through reviews, almost every review really talked about the fit. So they're leveraging that data that people, what people are saying and putting it as an emphasis on the product page. So really nice. Great that they have reviews. That's kind of a given. But in addition to the upsell that they have above to increase average order value, and I like how this is further down the page because I've scrolled down the page for a reason. Maybe this product isn't for me. They're giving me up and down sells in similar products that I can navigate to. And again, it's filtered by model 16, which is really nice. It's leveraging this selector right here. You can see it's using different model sizes when I select all. Lastly, they have UGC and influencer content, which is great to see, and obviously super important for any D2C brand. So overall, just a really amazing product page you can take a lot of inspiration from. They're doing a lot of things extremely well. Now let's take a look at the tech stack that Good American uses to get them to this world-class experience. Now, this is not an exhaustive list. It's just the core components, and particularly those ones that I think are helping yield such an amazing experience that we went through. So they're on Shopify, like I mentioned. However, they are headless. Hydrogen is Shopify's headless component. They use Klaviyo and Attentive for email and SMS marketing. But looking at some of these key callouts, so analytics, they're not just using Google Analytics. They have Hotjar for heat maps and Full Story for customer experience metrics. So these are all data-driven decisions. They're analyzing the customer experience, and there's no coincidence in terms of why things are the way they are. Lastly, one of the biggest things I'd point out, going back to leveraging this data. So they have dynamic yield, which is an enterprise A/B testing and personalization tool. It might be powering this view model size, but nonetheless, they're testing and personalizing the experience, which is extremely critical in a very competitive D2C e-commerce landscape. They have Rise AI for loyalty, so looking at that total customer life cycle. And then 460 is a UGC Instagram app, which I believe is powering this UGC at the bottom of the page. So really nice and advanced tech stack, which is giving them, an extremely world-class product page experience. Having said that, let's dive into the last part of this video, which is looking at what they could do better. No one's perfect. There's always things where you can improve. And we'll look above the fold first. So I am a bit surprised that there's no video in their asset gallery. And then the other thing, even though, and I complimented on this, that they have different model sizes and different angles of the product, it's all the same look and feel in terms of like a model shoot on a white background. I would expect to see a bit more product variety in terms of like infographics, video, like I said, maybe even some influencer and UGC content there. Loved the product name, but one thing that's a bit confusing is the SKU names, the color names. So this is Indigo 491 and this is Indigo 490. Obviously not too helpful there. I would personally put this size guide and this customer say in terms of the size closer together. I think they obviously make sense together. And then the one area I would definitely improve is this product description. So they're packing everything into details. You have the description, the fit, the material, the care. I would expect this to be broken out in different accordions and sections. And even if it is in one section, to have line breaks so it's easier to read. Moving below the fold, I think they do an amazing below the fold experience. But when we spoke about the brand at the beginning of this video, it's more than a brand, it's a movement. And a lot of people don't just buy because of the product details. So I would definitely recommend and love to see them putting some of this brand content, right? It doesn't have to be above the fold and the focus of the page, but leveraging their rich content in this below the fold experience to talk more about the brand and what they stand for, because that's often a lot of times a big reason why people buy a certain product is because of the brand. So would love to see that, but overall can't say enough good things about the product page. The biggest area I think they can improve upon is looking at that full end-to-end customer journey, moving away from a static product page and having an adaptive and dynamic product page, and really bridging the gap between what they're marketing and then the experience when they land on the product page. So what do I mean by that? So I took a look at their ad library. They're using this influencer and they're emphasizing spring, which is relevant to this time of year. So what they do is this ad captivates me. Therefore, I have a page a collection page, I should say, that's really, it's showing this influencer again and highlighting some of these spring products. But let's just take like what this influencer is wearing exactly, this jumpsuit. So I've told you I'm interested in this influencer in spring. I'm going to the exact page where of the outfit that the influencer is wearing, I think it'd be a good opportunity to adapt this and dynamically put some of these assets from the influencer on the page, and also talk about why this is a good product for spring, and just looking at, getting away from a static one size fits all product page that everyone sees no matter what, and adapting it based on where they're coming from. Or if you look at the jeans, and this is really popular in the fashion industry. So I'm recording this in February of 2024. It's winter time, right? Maybe, especially with this first color, not using a shirt that's sleeveless, but warmer clothing, right? Or using this for someone in Florida during this time of year, but someone in New York or Wisconsin or whatever the case may be, talking about the warmth and showing it in more of like with warmer clothes. So I think they could see a huge jump by adapting the product page based on customer journey, where they're coming from, where they're located, segments they belong to, so on and so on. But also using the product page to give dynamic and personalized promotions. So another big area in terms of like ads they're running, and this seems to be a top of funnel, it's for new customers, right? Take $50 off your first pair of jeans. And what they do is they take you again to a collection page that reiterates the offer. It's a little hard to see. And you can see you have to use this code TAKEOFF50. It's a little bit disjointed, right? Like I have to remember that. I have to consume the offer. I would just definitely recommend surfacing the offer just for that specific audience on the product page, because again, they're further down in the journey. This is where they're going to buy. They're going to click add to cart, and they're going to go in, enter that discount code, and check out. So those are the areas I think that they can improve upon. But overall, just a really amazing product page experience. I hope you got some value out of this video and can take some things from Good American and apply it to your business. And thanks very much for watching. Take care.